All right, y'all. So, starting the channel here, and we're gonna call it um, "For the Lost Sheep." You know what I'm saying? Um, there's some things that I see as far as the so-called blacks and Hispanics, where how we can come to better conclusions in scenarios, and I want to give our people some different perspectives on popular topics or um, what you call current events, and so that when we get in those scenarios or situations, we can make better decisions, right? Because we nothing, we all the same. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that can necessarily prevent us from being in someone else's situation. The thing is, how do you handle the situation? And there's a lot of attacks on our people as far as the media, music, movies, TV, magazines, books, art, and we really gotta um, you know move more wisely. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying. So this is what the channel is gonna be about. The channel is gonna be mostly towards uh, black and Hispanic men, because we are the same people, whether you believe it or not. We are the same people, and the attack from all other nations is on us. You understand? So, but this is gonna be towards the men. So, this is not gonna be a channel that panders to women. It's not gonna be a channel that panders to only black folks. This ain't gonna be a channel that um, panders to um, falsehoods to make us look a certain way. No, we're gonna talk about the truth, and I'm directing it towards the men. Anybody can listen, any nation can listen, but I'm specifically talking to the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans specifically, being that we are the same people, all right, just from different tribes. It's nothing to do with our skin color. It's our heritage. You understand? And I love my people, and that's what we're gonna talk about. So, without further ado, we're gonna talk. I don't know if you guys heard about the Woman King movie. The Woman King movie, man. And I saw that poster around, and I was just like, man, I'm just not going to indulge in this. I'm not the audience because they're going to try to tell me that a woman can be a better king. Because I already know uh, the industry is. They're going to try to tell me that a woman can be a better leader, a better man than I can, which is nothing but falsehoods, fabrications, and delusions. Because if they could, they would, and they haven't. So, they never will. And this is not a gender war channel either. We're not going to pander to any genders as well. My audience is the men, but the as far as being um, subjective, that ain't gonna happen. If the men looking foolish, we gonna point it out. If the women looking foolish, we gonna point it out. And I know the black woman can't seem to be held accountable on this in this society. But hey, if you with me, you with me. If you ain't, you ain't, and it don't matter. Those that understand, those sheep that want to come together, want a change, want something different, want to empower themselves, want to hear something positive about themselves, uh, then, or even the women, if you want to listen, this is not directed towards you, but if you want to listen and teach your young men the things that I'm talking about, show them the videos. If you want to teach your daughters or even yourself, correct yourself, then all praises to the Most High. But other than that, um, we're going to be talking about the truth. All right, not no gender wars. I don't get into that. That's a circular conversation that goes nowhere. Um, Same thing with the whole pro-black conversation. It's a circular conversation that goes nowhere. What we're here to do is come up with solutions. We're gonna see the issue, the obstacle, the scenario, and we're gonna come up with the proper solution. And some people might not like it, but it is what it is. We've been doing the same thing for 100 years, and we continue to be in these same predicaments when things could have been helped. So let's just get into the video. I don't know if you guys know about Tariq Nasheed. He is a I don't really know what I would call Tariq Nasheed, but to me, uh, I mean, as far as his accolades, he's a writer, a director, a musician, um, and he cares about the black man, and so he did a little I don't want to say a review, but a breakdown of the movie, and I was like, damn, that is pretty fire. How he was breaking that down. I appreciate that, brother. I met him, once. I support what he does, the Hidden Colors. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Hidden Colors, but I support it. And but like I said, we're not pandering to race or anything like that. As far as if you wrong, you wrong. If I have a different perspective, I'm gonna say the different perspective. If you agree, you agree. If not, it is what it is. But I do appreciate that, brother. He was part of, I would say, my awakening to the truth and how to um, think of myself in a positive light. So let's check it out. Let's see what he says, and I'm gonna chime in.
You guys are doing great. It's been a few days, man. I haven't been on live in a minute. It's only been a few days, but it feels longer when I'm not on here with you guys chopping it up, man. Welcome, everybody. Everybody come on in the room. I hope everybody had a great deal on this building. The used to see brothers and sisters out there grilling barbecue, selling and paint those murals. Now, I like Viola Davis, real dude. He's a semi-fictional character. Spotted again. I'm proud of everybody for being a part of it.
All right, let's get into it
Um,
now.
there's a lot of stuff I want to get into right now. We got a lot of folks in here now. So right now, the hashtag boycott woman king is trending right now. That's the new movie with Viola Davis talking about the Amazon women warriors of Dahomey. She plays a semi-fictional character. I think it's based on a real character, but the name is different. Is I forgot it, Nasidi or something like that. But that that character is fictional. But there is a person by John Boyega. He's playing King Gazi, who's real. Now, King Gazi is real. That was a real dude. So there's a lot of mixed views on this thing, especially from the awakened brothers and sisters. Now,
Now, real quick, I wasn't gonna watch it. I don't care if it's Viola Davis. I don't care if it's Denzel Washington. I don't give a damn who's in the movie. If the message is not gonna be positive or uplifting to my people, I'm not with it. And this is more of a gender war movie, and I'm not gonna get into that as far as accepting it. So I did not watch it, but now that I heard his breakdown, I guess I would say, or his opinion on the movie, I gotta watch it now. But I just wanted to talk about some of the things that he was saying and to point out to how it pertains to us.
I like Viola Davis. I like Viola Davis. I like to see her get roles where she's the star, she's the headliner. I'm a big fan of Viola Davis. I want to see her shine. I want to see her get as many roles as possible. I like to see as many black actors get work as possible. I like for black stories to be told. I like for black actors to be supported.
I agree.
But I don't want to mix in the need of us to have proper black representation, especially from actors or actresses that we like, mixed in with a story that's some bullshit.
Right.
What they're trying to do with this Dahomey thing, they're trying to paint it as some kind of black girl magic story. And family, do you know the history of the kingdom of Dahomey? That is not no black girl magic story. You understand? We got to be very realistic. I don't want to glorify that. They're not to be glorified. And you better understand when the white supremacists want to fund something, when you say, hey, we want black representation, they're like, okay, we'll give it to you. You better watch that. See, this is why we have to represent ourselves. Just like when we said we want a black museum in LA, so we let the city fund it, they fund the museum, and you go in there and there's a dude in there with a thong on, a big, which is what I saw. I went to the so-called Black History Museum in LA, the one that city funded. There's a big fat dude in a goddamn thong in there.
Hey, yo, I went to the Black American or the Black American History Museum, whatever it's called, in L.A. And I was nervous as hell. I brought my son. I was like, man, we see some bull up in here, man. I ain't gonna be able to do it, cause for whatever reason they want to attach homosexuality to our culture when you would die for that in Africa. In the Bible, the penalty is death. That's not a part of our culture. That is part of the Roman Greco European Caucasian culture. And they push that on us like it's something that's normal. But I just thought that was just funny that what the point he's making about that museum, because I was like, man, we didn't see nothing though. We didn't see nothing as far as no homosexuality stuff in there, but there was some gender war stuff up in there, and we just explained it to the kids, and it wasn't a big deal, because we teach the children, how to see this matrix. You understand? And that's what I'm here to with y'all to do, or dang, that's what I'm here to do with you guys is to talk about some stuff. Now, some things might be funny. We're not gonna always talk about serious things, but these things we need to be talking about. But let's keep going.
So that was the art. That was the representation. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they'll give you some black representation, all right. I heard there was a BET had a Twitter space earlier. I didn't hear it, but I'm hearing about it. I heard it was a bunch of rainbow talk in there. They were trying to prioritize sexuality and stuff like that. They were trying to prioritize gender issues. This is what I'm hearing. I didn't even listen to it, but this is what people were telling me. Raise your hand if any of you sat in that BET conversation.
Not
I
I.
can just imagine what they were talking about. But the thing is, man, the kingdom of Dahomey, that's not something that we need to glorify. Do y'all know how coonified they were? Those were some of the original OG coons.
Now,
I'm talking about.
this is where the separation between me and him is gonna come at. He's because in this society we're pushed that all blacks are African. That we come from the lineage of Africans. And when you read the Bible, you have Noah who had three sons, right? Uh, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. What the world teaches is that we come from Ham, which is the Africans, the Hamites. That's what the whole world teaches that. Whether you know it or not, that's what they teach. The white people, as far as the Jews, came from Shem, and they don't even talk about Japheth. But when you start learning the true history of who you are and how you got to this piece of land, you're going to understand that you don't come from Ham. You are not a Hamite. You are not a traditional African. You are dark. You have woolly hair, but you are not a African. You understand that? The blacks of the captivity of the slave trade, they can. This is what the movie is about. They come from The son Shem. Shem is where you come from. Now, uh, yes, the white people do too, but it's not just them. You understand that? There's a lot of different nations that come out of Shem, and the Africans are not one. But I'm gonna digress right there. But when he says that they're coons, he's making it seem as if we all one. We all one African people. That's not true. But let's keep going.
About on a massive scale. Now there were African kingdoms participating in the slave trade, going all the way to East Africa. You had Okun as Tipu Tip over there in Zanzibar. He was a dark skinned, he was Arab and African, major slave trader. So you had a lot of different African kingdoms over there participating in the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. But the homie took it to a whole level.
Now, the homie took it to a whole nother level because they were actual Africans. When you think about it, you don't sell your own people. What benefit would that have? Because we understand that a kingdom that's against itself can't stand. So, who do you think they were selling? They were selling the Israelites. You understand that? They were selling those Israelites that flee from Jerusalem, that had to flee from Europe, because all those blacks that actually ran Europe, Spain, England, Germany, those was Israelites. And the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's who that is today. We have not disappeared, just the history has disappeared. And the pro-blackity blacks, they will not accept that we are the Israelites. But then they have no way to give you any solutions out of these conditions that we're in. So when he says that they're coons, no, these were our enemies that sold us into slavery. You understand? This was not someone, this was not our own people. The Africans, which are dark and which have woolly hair, they look like us. Yeah, we get it. We used to mingle amongst them uh, often, but we always knew who we actually were. Okay, they understood that that's not an African. That's a Jew or an Israelite, and we don't have no dealings with them. So we're gonna capture them and do the worst to them. Let's keep going.
Took it to a whole different level. Shit, the British damn near had to stop them from getting down in it with
All
it.
right.
They were so deep and so heavy and so brutal with it against other black people. They were horrible.
Other Israelites.
The people of Dahomey, they were rounding black folks up, other black people up, and brutalizing them. They were beheading people for no reason. They were extremely brutal.
Because that we were enemies. They knew what was going on. They had no sympathy or empathy towards us. It was all apathy. You understand? They didn't care nothing about what was going on with us because we not the same people. It's that simple.
And their whole economy was based on selling other black people to the Europeans. That's all their economy was based on. They had other products, palm oil and other stuff they could have made riches from. They were like, no, 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 we're going to sell some of these folks. They had every opportunity to make money doing other things. They chose to participate in the slave trade with the white supremacists. They thought that they had some kind of camaraderie with the white supremacists. They were brutal. They would get people and chop off their lower jaw, and they're running around with no jaw, screaming with no jaw. They were brutal.
So the Lord told us. That's why the Bible is not a white man's book, yo. The Bible is a black man's book. You understand? Um, and when I say black, I mean because that's what you call yourselves today. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That is your book. Either you was in Africa and got chopped up, or you was in the Americas and got chopped up. But your enemies came over and sold you. Either way. And if you never heard this, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to, pander to nobody. Look it up. Just type in Google, who are the real Israelites? It's going to tell you. There's books that'll tell you. But the Bible does tell you, and it told us that the other nations were going to come against us harshly. They wasn't going to care about how old you are. You can read that in Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. They did not care about how old you were, how young you were. You were going to get whatever atrocities, whatever torture, whatever punishment they decided they were going to do it, and they were not going to care. That's why this tribe that this movie is depicting, it's true. They did that to us. They took the blacks that were over in Africa, chopped off their arms, chopped off their feet, whipped them. He's gonna go into it, but I want you to understand that they were not doing that to other Africans or other Hamites. They're doing it to other so-called black folks, the Negroes, the um, the people of that come from Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who they were doing it to.
Brutal people. And even in this movie, I saw like little clips here and there. And what was interesting, they had the women all masculine. And I saw one clip where they had the men, one of the men, kind of switching around, acting real feminine. So the men are feminine and the women are masculine.
That's another thing. Like that's why I was like, this is not for me. I'm not the audience because I guarantee you, none of these sisters look. They don't even got on dresses. They got on all pants like men wear, with this little I don't know what you call this little thing. Maybe it is kind of like a skirt. But look how they walk. Look how they walking, bro. They ain't twitching. They ain't switching. They ain't even smiling. They got their arms wide, like they about to do something. They ain't. But then when you got the black man in the movie, he the homosexual. He the one that's switching, all being effeminate. Man, that wasn't happening. That was not happening back then, bro. He would not be alive. He would not just be okay. You understand? Just walking freely. Come on, man. This is nothing but programming. That's a gender war BS programming to show that I can do anything better than you can. And where are they at? Where are the women kingdoms? Where are the matriarchs out here? Where they at? They seem to be defeated. You understand? And I like to say, oh, it'd be better if they had a woman president, or it'd be better if uh, a woman ruled the earth. Come on, man. This is fictional, delusional, and really foul because women can't really think outside of anything but themselves. All they really care about is themselves, and that's how they were created. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's how they were created. The Lord created them to think about nothing but themselves. And it's only when they have children when they even really care about something other than themselves. You understand? But it don't go past that. It don't go past that. It don't go past their children. It stay right there. It's them and the children. Outside of that, they don't care. If you're not a provider, and I'm not, and and rightfully so. If you're not a provider, if you're not a leader, someone that can um, repair them spiritually, feed them mentally, and guide the household the way it should be guided, and make moves that's gonna benefit her and the family, then she up out of there. And like I said, rightfully so. That's what men supposed to do. But for you to turn around and say, you know what, we don't need you. We could do it better by ourselves. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. When you look at the amount of inventions that black men have created versus the amount of creations that the black woman has created, it's like night and day. If you could be a better ruler, a better thinker, a better leader, it would show in your fruits. But you can't even raise the children by yourself. They become gang members and hoes, and strippers, and all that. We understand that you leading a household, it leads to nothing but dysfunctional children. Now, it's the man's fault. But when you start thinking that you don't need a man, now I have to hold you accountable. But when you are trying to have a man, the man ain't there, well, now I got to hold him accountable. But this movie right here, nothing but gender war delusions. You understand? Nobody in a right mind was really uh, running and afraid of no woman army. That just wasn't happening. You understand? Now they might have had some women soldiers, but they was no one was afraid of them. Now when they captured us, they would okay, yeah, you could chop off the head of a man. Of course, a woman can kill a man. That's not under question. But as far as just toe to toe, you over here on one island, I'm on another island. Whose island gonna thrive more? It's not gonna be the one ran by the women. Period. Point blank. And that's just not how they created. And we gotta understand that we gotta stop being in competition and start complimenting one another. Not a competition. Compliment one another. And this movie definitely does not compliment one another. We both got roles. We should aspire to be the best participant in that role. But all right, I digress.
That's why they call it the woman king. What the hell is a woman king?
I don't know, Tariq. Made up.
Listen to that. A woman king.
Made
You
up.
see? See, Hollywood will fund that. They'll fund some gender confusion.
Right.
Y'all better understand this is part of the gender confusion thing. We're going to switch the genders, erase the genders, make the genders interchangeable. You see? Stuff that don't make no sense. But going to the Dahimi Kingdom, boy, those tribes were mass executing other black people for no reason because they brought so many down to Dahomey from all different parts of Africa. And the white supremacists from Europe would come in about once a month to buy shiploads of people, which the Dahomey Kingdom was ready and willing to sell. And sometimes before the Europeans would show up, there would be so many black people that they captured, the food supply would run low. So what they would do this ritualistic mass killing of just scores of other black people just for the hell of it. I don't really want to glorify that.
Nope. Because these are your enemies. As you, as a Negro, sitting in America or in Europe, watching this movie, because Viola Davis, whatever the brother name is from Star Wars, I forgot his name real quick. I apologize, but they in the movie, Boyega, that brother. I'm gonna go see that and support it. Hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Because it's about your destruction. And that's what the so-called blacks and Hispanics got to understand. When you celebrating the things that this society pushes for you to consume, you are celebrating your destruction. Don't matter if it's Christmas, that's the celebration of your destruction. Look up Swarthy Pete or Black Pete. Look it up. They dressing up as little Negroes, mocking you. The white man is in blackface, mocking you for Christmas. When you Thanksgiving, it's a destruction of your people. You know what I'm saying? And this movie is celebrating the destruction of your people. And it's our job to start recognizing these things, which is why I wanted to start a channel. And I know I'm talking a lot, but I wanted this to resonate with our people and just spark, just plant a little seed. If you never heard that before, now you've heard it. Go do some research. Don't just get mad and don't want to watch no more. You're not African. They understood it. Everyone knows who you are, but you. When you call yourself American, it just says you're lost. When you call yourself African, it just says you're lost. Asiatic, black man, you're lost. Negro, you're lost. Whatever other name you want to call yourself outside of your true nationality and what the Lord called you, you're lost. Which is why the channel is called For the Lost Sheep, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. At the moment, we're talking about the so-called blacks, uh, but we all one people. But no, I'm not about to glorify this. That's like glorifying a slave movie where uh, there is no moral of the story. There is no winner as far as on my side. It's just me getting my ass whooped and white folks enjoying it. Hell no. Nah. Why would I? That's like glorifying Birth of a Nation, not the one where not about Nat Turner, but the original Birth of a Nation. I'm not gonna glorify that. You understand that? I digress.
These people were knee deep in the slave trade, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell y'all how cold they were. I put this tweet up earlier.
How cold was it?
Let me show you how cold they were. And they knew what they were doing was wrong.
Right, right.
They knew what the hell they was doing was wrong. Let me put this up on the Jumbotron because I tweeted this earlier. And I'm going to put it on the Jumbotron, family,
The hell, the
from some book
jumbotron.
sources. Hold on. Let me put this up real quick right here. Okay, I put this in the Jumbotron. One thing they would do
Jumbotron.
when they were about to sell a large group of black folks to the white supremacists, they would perform these magic rituals. They would get the black people and have them walk around something called the Tree of Forgetfulness.
Ooh.
Okay, this was a ritual that they did. And this was supposed to erase their ancestral memories
Mm.
so that the enslaved black people would be a clean slate and a blank canvas for the white supremacist slave
Is
owners.
that right, Tariq?
They thought, okay, walking around this tree, this will help you erase your memory so that your spirit doesn't come back to get revenge on us. I want y'all to Google this too, just to let you know how real this is. It's called the Tree of Forgetfulness. So they knew if the spirit, because they knew this was wrong. They knew this was some evil shit, what they were doing. They knew better, especially as black people, they knew better,
Is that right?
mimicking the Europeans.
Is that right?
So they knew that was some janky, demonic stuff they were doing, and they knew that there was going to be some ancestral retribution. They understand spirits.
Mm.
They knew that there was going to be a repentance of that. They knew
Did
that the
they?
karma was going to hit them. So what they were trying to do was magically erase the karma, and it didn't work.
It didn't work because you know why? We understand. There are some of us that understand who we are and who they are. We ain't the same people. But it's funny because that is a biblical prophecy that would happen to the Israelites. I'm gonna just read it to y'all real quick. He said that they would walk around, have us walk around this tree to forget who we were. That's what he said. Now let's see. The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. And I don't want this to be a biblical channel, but sometimes it's just too blatant. It's just too blatant that we are the Israelites and they are not our people. But check it out. The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, Thine enemies make a tumult. A tumult is an angry gathering. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. So they getting proud. They getting bold. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against the hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The so-called blacks and Hispanics are the hidden ones. Because we don't know who the hell we are. They didn't walk us around this damn tree, and now we done forgot who the hell we are. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Let us walk their ass around this tree and cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. I'm telling you, this is all spiritual. The Lord put all this together. For the ones that are in the know, that know what the hell is going on, we can recognize, like, dang, that Bible's a true book. That ain't a white man book. We are the Israelites. Because look at what's happening. Look at what's being said about the history. He said they would walk them around the tree so we would forget who we were. And then it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. All the other nations hate the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, which is the white man. The tabernacles of the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs. Who had us in captivity first? The Arabs did. The sub-Saharan slave trade. You understand? They are all in one consent. Let's keep reading. Of Moab, that's the Chinese. The Hagarenes, which is I forget who they are. Gabal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. That is the Africans. You understand that? That is the Africans. When you start talking about the Philistines and Tyre, those are the Africans. Can I go to the next? Let's just go to the whole thing. Let's go to verse 8. Ashur also is joined with them. So the point is that it was prophesied that we would lose our heritage, our language, our customs, everything about who we were, even our nationality. We call ourselves all type of different things. I asked 5 black people, so-called black people, what's your nationality? 5 different people going uh, say 5 different things. You understand that? So this is crazy. Let's keep going though.
They got hit with the karma anyway. They too later on got colonized. Dealing with the same people who they were selling us to, they came back and colonized their asses. Now look at what they're doing over there. It's a mess. And now we're getting our memories back.
Oh, yes,
You
we are.
understand? Them rituals didn't work like they thought they worked. It worked for a long time. Now we did forget a lot of stuff, but
We
now
did.
we're
Yep.
waking up.
Now we waking up. But the thing is, Tariq not waking up to the real truth. That's the thing. But I know Tariq know about the Israelites. I'm not that naive to think he don't know. If I know about him, he know about the Israelites. You understand? Tariq know a lot about a lot, but for whatever reason, he ain't come to the conclusion that we the Israelites. But we are waking up. The little ring around the tree, ring around the rosy, walking around that damn tree. It did work for a time. Because we did forget. The white man did something crucial to rename us, to give us a name that don't have nothing to do with us, and just group us in with all African just because we dark. rename us to Negroes, rename us to Black, rename us to African American. It has done wonders on the mind of the black man. Now we don't know who the hell we are. We calling ourselves Egyptians, bro. Negro, how the hell you know you come from Egypt? This because we all African. No, brother. There's all type of tribes. They not all the same. Even the Africans not all the same. You understand? So we are waking up for sure. But the true awakening, when people say, "Oh, I'm woke," well, you could be woke still in the bed. You could be woke. You just hit the snooze button. But now it's time to get the hell up out the bed, get up out the house, and be productive. Know who you are, and show your people where they going off at. And this is what I'm doing. You understand that we are getting our memories back, but Tariq not. He ain't going deep enough. He's still just in the bed. He got to get up out the bed. Now, I appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we are the Israelites.
which is what they don't like. This is why when we're acknowledging our lineage and we're waking up to some of the atrocities some of these so-called allies and brothers have committed against us, see, that's us being awakened. This is why they fight so hard against it.
They're not our allies. They fought so hard against it because once you can start being great and not know who you are. But that's one step closer to really fulfilling your true greatness. So they rather you just be at a low estate to where you don't even want to lift your head up to just wonder about who am I? Where did I come from? That's the point.
Look at the museum, for example. With the museum, the whole premise was about telling our true history with emphasis on FBA history. And look at who we were getting pushback from. Who was pushing back from the museum? A lot of these non-FBA tethers who come from these places where they were brutalizing some of our ancestors because they don't want us talking among ourselves, getting this history straight. That's where the whole joke, where's that museum nigga? Because they were hating on it. They didn't want us to get this museum. We got it. So now you're gonna see some more hate. They got to change the bad faith narrative. They're gonna change the narrative.
And I hope he does get his. I'm glad that he got his museum going. I'm definitely want to go when it opens up and take my son. I'm sure that we're gonna be supporting it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they're gonna tell some stuff that is way deeper than what's in that. There wasn't really much Black history in that Black History Museum. There was nothing but civil rights, uh, Civil War, World War I, which we did some great things. Don't get me wrong. You know the Red Tails and the Buffalo Soldiers. You know I appreciate them men. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much more to our blackness or the things that we achieved that they don't talk about past American history. And I know that Tariq Nasheed is gonna talk about the stuff before the American history. You understand? So I'm definitely gonna go and support that brother. You know, I'm just saying, I'm just filling in the gaps per my perspective. You understand that? That's all I'm saying. My perspective, there's some holes that I'm filling. All right. Now, if in your perspective, what he's saying is tight and we all African, then it is what it is. Do your thing. But as far as me and as far as what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill in the gaps whether or not you thought there was a gap there. You understand that?
But yeah, they really don't like that because now we're gonna get this history straight. We're gonna find out and explain who's with us and who's not with us.
And I just explained it. All the other nations is against you, so that the name of Israel is in no more remembrance. I just explained it. Well, I didn't explain it. The scripture explained it. You ain't gonna hear that scripture in church. I guarantee you that.
And historically and currently, who have that same vibe. There's a reason why a lot of these folks from certain parts of the diaspora, they have the same mindset against us as they did 300 years ago. That's unfortunate, but that's the reality. They have that same mentality. The problem is they can't physically try that bullshit with us now because they know we'll put all types of FBA hands and feet on them. So they can't do that physically. So there's a lot of them that do little stuff with the white supremacists to undermine us. Not all of you, and I'm not beating up on everybody, but I'm just giving an example of these.
And not everyone over in the land of Africa is our enemy, because we do still have a diaspora, a remnant of our people over there. They did not take all the Israelites from the coast of Africa. All right, you understand that we were still over there mingling amongst the Africans. So the ones that do care and do support and do understand, those spiritually, you can tell that those are our people. All right, like Godfrey, you know what I'm saying? He'll tell you he's Nigerian in a heartbeat, but he still understands and feels and sympathizes and able to empathize with our plight, because he understands that we the same people. He don't know that we Israel, or maybe he do. I think he do. He do, but he don't. He ain't subscribing to it, and that's all right. I love my brother, but don't. I'm not trying to say that just because you over on the continent of Africa that you are enemy. There's plenty of our people over there. The Igbo tribe, they understand that they're Israelites. There's another tribe over there. They understand who they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a historian. I don't know every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And if anyone that want to correct me in the comments, go ahead and do it. If you know what other what other African tribes know that they're Israelites, go ahead and put that in the comments. We all here to learn. You know what I'm saying? But that is a thing.
Type of movies that they put out where they try to rewrite history and try to create black girl magic. No, no, no. We have to tell the truth about what happened, and we can't celebrate people who went out of their way to wipe us off the goddamn planet.
Right.
These folks left us for dead, dude.
Yep.
Them folks knew exactly what they were doing when they were helping them white supremacists gather some of our ancestors up. They knew what they were
Sure
doing and
did.
they knew how evil it was, but they were like, hey, we getting ours.
They
And that
Confederate.
type of mentality is a detriment.
They Confederate amongst our people.
Let me get the family to chime in. How many people we got in here? Oh, we in here heavy. Let's get brother Dominique in here. Let's get Dominique. Hop on, brother. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Sorry, my bad. The delay was bad. I probably couldn't hear you. But no, I wanted to say this, man. I wish people, that there's most people that I talk to that about like stuff about consciousness and just in general. A lot of them don't even want to learn about their history, and they just have willful ignorance. And when it comes,
Dang, that's crazy. He said that. Because that's another prophecy. I'm gonna get it real quick because y'all think that uh, y'all ain't never heard these scriptures that I'm gonna bring out. You know what I'm saying? Now those that know who they are, they've heard these, they understand. But those that still into Christianity, those that still into the Hotep and all that, they ain't heard these scriptures. So we can go to cause what the brother say that our people don't want to know who we are. We don't even want to look up and see who we are, and that's a true story. That's a true statement right there. We're gonna go to Isaiah, verse 1, 3. I'm gonna say 1 and 3. The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knows its master. Oh, we can't do no. I need the King James version. Let me get that King James version, dog. Where's that? Sorry about that, y'all. Uh, Look at that. They don't want me. They don't want us to find the King James version, y'all. Uh, Hold on. All right, and I wanna. I wish I'm not the best at this, so I'm not sure if I did this, what would happen. Would y'all be able to see that? Nope. We're gonna figure it out next time so y'all can see the scripture with me. But anyway, the brother said that our people don't want to learn who they are. Let's go back a few.
To this movie in particular about the consciousness and just in general, a lot of them don't even want to learn about their history and they just have willful ignorance.
Willful ignorance. Now we don't want to learn about our history, and we have willful ignorance. Check this scripture out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know. So the Lord is comparing us to some dumb animals that still know their homeland, still know who they belong to. But Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, does not know. My people does not consider. They don't even consider. They don't even be like, huh, are the people in Israel today the real Jews? I mean, we go through all these atrocities. Why are we going through all this? Are the people just better than us? No, that's not what's happening. And y'all gotta look up around you. Start learning how the world works. What's going on around you? There's a reason why you are always in captivity. There's a reason why you always in jail, always getting shot, always single parent households, always in the abortion clinic. There's a reason for these things. Nothing to do with we the most inferior people on the planet. We understand that we the best thing on the planet, but we don't know why. And we don't know how we could be the best thing on the planet and still be at the bottom. We the best thing on the planet because we the real children of God. You understand that? The I know the 5%ers like to say we are God. Well, the Bible says that we are gods. That's where they got that from. They got that from the Bible. Them 5%ers that say that shit is because they got that from the Bible. But the Lord said that we are gods. The men. You understand? Not the women. The women are princesses. You understand? They are beautiful and essential, but only when they're in their right mind. You understand? Only when they're in their right role. But it says that Israel don't know and they don't consider. That's a prophecy. You understand that? It's a prophecy. We don't know who we are. We call ourselves African. From what tribe though? What tribe are you from? From Africa? Well, slavery. We can't go back that far. Right. The reason why you don't know your homeland, you don't understand who your God is, who you belong to, is because you don't care. And we all didn't care at some point. You understand? I'm not saying that I always cared. And the credit I give Tariq Nasheed is he made me want to care. That's why I support that brother. He made me want to care. He was the awakening of my journey and how I got to this point right now. You understand that? He was a stepping stone for me to get to where I'm at right now. Now, we don't agree with a lot of stuff anymore because that stepping stone led me to higher stepping stones in leadership and counselors that have showed me things that I would never even thought about. You understand? So we all was in the darkness. We was all asleep at some point. Ain't nobody trying to seem as if I'm holier than thou or I'm more woke than you. I mean, yeah, I am, but not because of I was born this way. You understand? Someone had to show me how to care, and that's the credit I give to Reek. You understand? Was that I was a dumb Negro, not caring, not knowing, and he showed me something past the American history that they show us. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then I find out that all the greatness that we've done before America, because we wasn't in no damn bushes, hopping around with rings in our lips and in our cheeks and all that. That wasn't what was going on. We was building civilizations. You understand that? And once I learned that, I was like, hold on, I don't know nothing. Let me continue to learn. So I was right where you at too. But I had to lift my head up. You understand that? And put my trust in the Lord. And he showed me things.
And when it comes to this movie in particular, people just want to run with it. They're scared to know the actual truth, and they don't want to listen to people like T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, who breaks all of this down. He broke that
Hmm.
whole movie down on YouTube, and I think people should go check that out. It's really dope. But I appreciate it too.
Yeah, much respect, brother. I got to get my sister Wani on here because Wani has spoken about some of this stuff, and this sister's so very thorough. Hop on, Sister Wani.
Hey Tariq,
Hey, beloved.
congratulations on the
Thank
museum. It looks beautiful.
Thank you so much, dear. I'm going to have something in there about you, ma'am, about
Oh
your
no,
travels. Yes, I am. I'm going to have something
thank
in there about
you.
you. Yes, indeed.
That's sweet.
Sister, can you speak on the Dahomey Amazon people and what their get down was, beloved?
Well, one of the things that has kept us disoriented is that we keep being shoved into African culture when it is opposed to us. And that's
Yeah,
one of the things that we
Right.
have to straighten up. We can't just be living in a fantasy,
Right.
embracing Mansa Musa and Tipu Tip and all these people that would have sold us.
Right.
So
yeah.
Now
they too.
why would Mansa Musa sold us if we the same people? We not the same people, yo. I learned about Mansa Musa from Tariq. You know what I'm saying? Now, I particularly think he was an Israelite, and I don't think he would have sold us. But let's just say he was African, then he would have sold us because he's our enemy. We ain't the same people.
Are one of the ones, and I think that we want to embrace African culture, but when we look deeper into it, it gets a little bit tricky. And again, I'm focused on our history, which is legendary, and our culture, and I don't need to look outside of that anymore.
Right, right,
Yes,
right.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, beloved. That's Sister Wani. All right, let's get well, we got a lot of folks in. Let's get Bruce in here. Let's get Brother Bruce. Let's get Bruce in. And y'all other people raise your hand if you want to get on. What's up, Linus? Let me get Linus in after Bruce. What's up,
Yeah,
Bruce?
what's up? I've been seeing that a lot of people try to, say that, we since we came from West Africa, that we're just the same as like Nigeria and West Africa today. There were many tribes in West Africa, so we are not
What many tribes in West Africa? Hey man, I see I got one person watching, man. What's going on, man? Don't leave me hanging, man. This is my first time in a while doing some videos, man. Don't leave me hanging, bro. What's going on? Chat with your brother.
the same. And I would like to hear people talk about that. It was multiple tribes in West Africa. We are not all the same group that was in West Africa. Like it was multiple tribes in West Africa.
Right.
That's true. That's a very good. Thank you, brother.
That's what I
That's a
just
very
said.
good point, and we have to understand because even Phil, well, I was talking to Phil Valentine one time, and I think he spoke about this in one of my movies. Like we migrated from all over the place. I'm talking about as far as Kemet, we were coming in, and they sold or captured the strangers first. You understand? The first person you're going to sell is a person who's a stranger. A
Now, who is gonna be a stranger if y'all the same people? Someone that's not your people is the stranger. You understand that? That's who the stranger. We strangers because our cultures are different. If we got the same culture, we're not strangers. You understand? Because we're gonna base our principles, base our walk, how we talk, how we treat each other, based upon the same principles. So we're not really strangers. We're more like lost long brothers and sisters because we understand we're the same people. You're not gonna be a stranger if you got the same culture. And they understood that they didn't have the same culture as us.
person who's not from your particular nation. So we all know they were getting black people from all parts of Africa. We weren't all just from no damn West Africa. That's absolutely true. Understand, there were wars going on in East Africa that would push people further into the interior. There were wars going on in North Africa that would push people further down into Africa. There were wars in South Africa that was pushing people up. So people were moving all around Africa. Africa's not a stagnant place where people are just blocked off. So yeah, we were coming from all over the place and then led to some of those coasts. Let's get Lioness in here. Sister Jade.
Blessings. Yes, Brother Tariq, congratulations and thank you for securing that museum for us. I tell people all
Yes,
the
ma'am.
time, when you put your name on something and you say you're going to do X, you actually deliver, and you deliver in excellence from the smallest thing to everything. And so to come across
Yes,
someone
ma'am.
like you who has that level of integrity is remarkable. I want to make just one
I
quick
agree with that.
comment
I
about
agree.
African studies and Black studies. We know that during
Mhm.
the 60s and 70s, Black studies departments were heavily surveilled by the US government. And then there was a
Yes.
concerted effort to phase out Black studies and replace it with Africana studies, right? Like a Pan-Africanist level of study. So it really, really started to erase the foundational Black American history and our culture and our lineage from that discipline, from that discipline within academia. And then you have more and more African studies departments nationally that have delineated from Black studies and African American studies, so much so that at the PhD level you find more PhD programs in African studies than African American studies or slash Black studies. So I wanted to name that as a former Black studies, African American studies major at Temple University. There was always already a concerted effort to tell the history of Africa from the African perspective and less foundational history. So
Now the thing about what she said, and I'm gonna try to wrap it up because I know it's been a while. It was over an hour, but the thing about what she said with the um, how they're not teaching us our foundational Black American studies, I guess, and what they call, I'm gonna just say the Negroes, the history of the Negroes. Okay, um, is the reason why that is because you're going to your enemy, your former slave master, for education. Does that make sense? For you to expect your enemy, that was your former slave master, to teach you correctly. If they couldn't treat you right, why do you think they're going to teach you right? We got this delusion. And that's the reason why when I get into the whole pro blackity black realm, it's a circular conversation because you say F the white man, but then you go to the white man for everything and you trust him for everything. I'm not going to no college to learn about me. That you gotta be out your mind. You gotta be delusional to think that the person that set up these systems to lock you up, to put drugs in your community, to put guns in your community, to start the violent gangs that gives you the worst food, that they're gonna uh, at this level let you in on the secrets and let you in on how to empower yourself and make yourself better so that you can make your people better and be a good examples for your people so they can follow in your footsteps and then we can eventually be better than everybody else on the planet and be on top. That's not gonna happen. It just ain't. And we gotta come to the conclusion that we gotta stop going to our enemy for things that we need. We gotta stop it. Because why would they give you don't as a individual, if you needed something, don't you want the best quality of whatever it is that you think you need? Or do you want the rundown version, the hand me down version, the recycled version? You want the best quality. But if you got to go to your enemy for that item, and he understands that it's that he does have the best, and if he gave you the best, now you would be a rival. Why would he give you that? Why would he give you that? He won't. He will not. And stop acting as if you just trust one more white person, you're finally gonna meet the one that's gonna do you right. We gotta stop that. And this is not no hate campaign, not no war campaign. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is having better judgment. Stop with the not all white people are like that. Well, I thought once I got to college that they would. It said African American studies. How come they don't teach no foundational African American? Because that's your enemy. Your enemy set that class up. You're paying your enemy to be there in that seat. Do y'all not get that? No, I mean obviously you don't because you're still signing up for the classes. Okay, if you're going to go to college, learn a skill. Forget all the history. Learn a skill. So when you can come out, you can either get a good job or start your own business. All the history stuff, leave that alone, bro. They're not there to teach you how to empower yourself. Because we all know the saying, if you know where you've been, you know where you're going. And all they want you to know where you going is to jail, single parent households, the stripper pole, the NBA, the NFL. That's where you going, nigga. That's what they want you to go. But anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap that one up. As far as the video, I think I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. Um, yeah, if you wanna keep going, wanna keep listening, and just tag along. But yeah, man, like, share, subscribe, and comment. All right.